I was already incredibly fond of the Edge of Time set and loving my Trickster Anomaly build as one of my favorite setups, and I only went and made it better. Big shout out to writer JJ89 on Reddit. Saw his post about a cool Venator's Knife Temporal Blade focus build, and I thought, I think we can improve on this just a tiny bit. Thank you for the idea. I love it, stealing it, and doing a video on it. In this video, as per usual, there will be timestamps below if you feel like skipping anything I'm talking about. We're going to do pros and cons first, move on to the skills used and the class tree, followed with the gear setup for this character. There will be a link to the full gear collage down below. And at the end, we'll do my closing thoughts about this setup, life in general, what is the meaning of life, and an update on the channel. If you like it at any point in time, feel free to click that like, that comment, that subscribe button, growing the channel. Let's go. Pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses of this setup are as follows. This is hands down my favorite build I have ever played in this game. I am infatuated with this, and I could seriously play this character and the setup all day long, shirking all of my responsibilities in the meantime. Unfortunately, I've kind of been doing that lately, and I officially have every mod and piece of gear for the Trickster. That means I'm gonna have to play another character at some point soon. I'm not looking forward to it, bro. This setup is just designed to shred elites. You can one-tap Broodmothers. It's incredible. I actually cannot believe the damage output. And what's so cool about this is it's basically the ultimate Outriders build ideology. You have so much damage on hand that you have the bare minimum amount of tankiness and you have no problems with survivability. For your cons, the biggest one is obviously going to be long-range physical damage, aka bullet damage, on the human-based expeditions. This is why I'm showcasing footage from Boomtown and Chemplant to show you this is your biggest weakness of this character, and it's still not a problem. We have basically no armor with 50k. You really just kill things before it's an issue, and because of our class tree, which I'm so proud of the way I did this. It's crazy. I can't even wait to show it off. I'm like brimming with joy right now, smiling ear to ear. It's crazy. I'm not sure if this is a positive or a negative, but this build absolutely has a high skill floor and a high skill cap. You need to be on your toes with this setup. Obviously, in any sort of squishy, high damage output character in any game ever, you have very little room for mistakes. In this one, it's doubly true, not so much because you're going to die right away, but more so because if you do your skills in the improper order, you're going to get nothing out of this character, and there is a lot of room for mistake. Believe me, I make them all the time. You'll see the times when we finish these expeditions. If you're a good player, which is not that hard to be better than me at any game, you can do way better on these clear times. Again, this comes down to player skill level. I have no problem admitting I am mediocre at best, especially with all of my excuses, my bad sticks, my poor aim, the glare on my TV. It's hard to see. My eyes, I think, are getting a little fucky from playing too many video games and working on this computer, working on spreadsheets for work, doing homework. But we don't need excuses. Just know you can you can easily shave time off your expeditions. Let's discuss our skills and our class tree. Skills used will be Temporal Blade, Hunt the Prey, and Venator's Knife. This means we have one primary source of damage. It's Temporal Blade, and it is more than enough. I promise you, it is ample. If you look at our cooldowns, they are all phenomenal, under 7 seconds for everything. This is of the utmost importance, the skill use order. If you take nothing away from this video besides the skill use order, I will feel proud of my work in this video. You need to do it exactly as follows. First, Hunt the Prey. Second, Melee. Third, Temporal Blade, and depending on the enemy and how tanky they are, maybe pop your second Temporal Blade. You don't always need it. Even Broodmothers, you can get away with one tapping. Quickly, after your first Temporal Blade or second Temporal Blade, use your Venator's Knife on the fadeaway. You want to make sure you back up because we are running Untamed Power, so we don't want our little poof, poof, pop, poof, 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 pop damage from our gear when we activate a skill to take away our Venator's Knife. Throw that knife, make sure you are at a nice safe distance so you can admire your beautiful handiwork and watch gigantic boss type enemies die immediately. Love it. One thing that is important to point out here is with our melee, we are using the class node anomaly Scything, and this is important because it tells you in the tree, hey man, you can get this bonus anytime you activate melee, 30% bonus AP. It's pretty sweet. That's actually incorrect. You need to successfully land your melee attack. I'm going to take you in town for a brief demonstration of what I'm referencing here. Here you see me casually punching the air. Look at my health bar where the status effects go. That is nothing. Nothing is happening. No buff. There's no anomaly power buff. Now, if we walk over slightly over here to Bailey and we punch her directly in the face, look at that. You can see our bonus to anomaly power activate with our melee. I don't think this transgression against Bailey is that bad. She is in a wheelchair, but to be fair, we did put her in said wheelchair. I think she'll be okay, and thankful that we used her for this demonstration process. On the subject of melee scything in our skill tree, let's review it, shall we? We have a cool little ingenious way of making sure we aren't just one-shottable for everything. If you look at the bottom portion of our tree where we've primarily invested into the Reaver class tree, we don't actually go to the capstone. I think this is perfect because the 10% bonus to anomaly power for each enemy in close range really isn't that dope. In theory, it sounds amazing, but in application, what really happens is that you get an attack off. Even if it's your melee, you're going to kill all the little adds around you, and then that buff disappears when you want to hit your big powerhouse attack as Temporal Blade or Moaning Winds on the elites, so you're not really using that buff that much. The second most high part of the tree before the capstone, completely worthless. One is for shooting the gun, which obviously we're not doing, and the other one takes away your ability to heal yourself with close range kills in favor of more close range shield buffing on kills. That's not that sick. I mean, shield's nice and stuff, but I'd rather just take all of those points out and lose 6% buff to our anomaly power in order to get the 3 trio of nodes we see in the middle tanky tree. This is bonus to max health. This is bonus to elite damage mitigation, and a sweet and completely necessary 15% resistance buff, which is incredibly helpful against those really powerful attacks. Anomaly attacks in this game are really, really dangerous, and to have bonus resistance is amazing. Everything else here is pretty self-explanatory. We've got bonus AP, we've got a ton of cooldown, we've got skill leech coming out of our butt, and we have buffs to our anomaly power and our armor piercing and our resistance piercing from some of our class nodes. With this setup, we are actually hitting over 100% resistance piercing, which is sweet. This is one of the reasons why we are just completely capable of melting any Broodmother, Elite, Captain, whatever enemy you want to call in one Temporal Blade attack. Let's talk about our gear. On our weaponry, we are going to be using the somewhat anomaly power base build standard of the Anomoy, Death Shield, and our Torment and Agony pistols. The important information here is that you have at least double Moaning Winds on your Anomoy and your Death Shield, but even more important than that, whatever you do with your pistol, you want to make sure you have the Torment and Agony out or the Anomoy out at all times. This is necessary because we need that bonus to armor piercing in our hands in order to cross that 100% resistance piercing threshold. Moaning Winds on this setup is our secondary or even tertiary source of damage. It's not the most important thing. It is incredibly helpful though when our Temporal Blade is on cooldown and there are a lot of mobs around us that don't require a ton of damage output, but a nice AoE type of attack that takes out numerous enemies in one fell swoop. Moving on to our armor, we are using the beautiful Edge of Time set. I love these goggles. Reminds me of Splinter Cell and Sam Fisher, I think, Max Fisher. Someone's going to skewer me for not knowing that. But those goggles are absolutely brilliant, and I love the aesthetic of the set. On our helm, we do want to be using Double Slice, and we're going to put a stack of Unstoppable Force on here. These are the exact attributes we need: Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction, and Skills Life Leech. We need cooldown reduction on everything we wear. Up next, we have our chest piece, Armor of the Edge of Time. And here's where it starts to get a little bit complicated and where I start to feel pretty proud of myself as coming up with something a bit ingenious and possibly nefarious. I didn't know this. The no resistance against the fortified mod actually stacks. I was like, how can I get my res piercing above 100? And this is the way. We do run a stack of no resistance against the fortified here, and that's going to make sure we buff up our resistance piercing based on our armor piercing. And then our second mod on this chest is completely not used. Oh, I know, it looks like such a waste, right? It looks so painful to just have a mod that's completely useless. Like, it does literally nothing. It does not contribute in any way, shape, or form to this build. The thing is, and this is what Ryder did on Reddit, he swapped out his chest for the anomaly-based purple chest and used the set gloves. The issue there is that I found with stacks of resistance piercing from no resistance against the fortified or unstoppable force, we actually just get so much more AP from having a wasted mod slot with anomaly power on our chest and running 0 max health on our gear that it totally works out this way. On our pants, this is standard. We have the set pants of the Edge of Time, Slasher to get another charge of Temporal Blade, and Strong Slice just to buff our Temporal Blade damage up even higher. Our gloves are going to be sweet purple gloves. We have the stats we want: Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction, and then Healing Received is nice, but whatever you find in that third slot, have at it. Doesn't really matter too much. We have Cut Loose, which is improved cooldown on Temporal Blade, which is absolutely vital. The cool thing is it spawns on the gloves, so you don't have to fish for this or put it on your gear. Just get gloves with this and you're halfway there. That's horrible. For our second mod slot, we want to have another stack of no resistance against the fortified. This stuff is starting to really add up now. I'm not sure if you can tell. The resistance piercing buffing our AP is getting crazy. On our boots, we have our nice Anomaly Power Skills Life Leech cooldown stats with Captain Hunter because we want to just punish elites, particularly Broodmothers. It's really cool to one-shot those guys. And Untamed Power, which is a great source of damage. I think it's our tertiary source of damage. It's really good for dealing with the little guys when we just punch or teleport or any of our abilities pumps out huge meaty chunks of AP damage. This is me standing in town and the damage is 55k without any of our buffs, without our melee buff. That about sums it up for this build guide video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And if you put this build to use, I hope you have fun with it because that's what I'm trying to do here. Make a little setup that you can have fun playing because this game should not be stale. There's so many ways to approach different problems and each of them more fun than the last. Before you head out, let me know if you have a personal favorite build. I'd love to try it out if I haven't already. I swear by this one, it is just keeping me so hooked right now. I love it. If you like this video, feel free to click a like, click a comment, click a sub, help me grow this channel, having fun doing it, and the support is always much appreciated. Switching gears to a more personal note, channel update, boring stuff for people who don't care, that's all good. You may have noticed an ad before this video. Dun dun dun. I know, it's that time. I hit 1K subs, I applied for that. I got approved in the partner program, and that is now a thing. I am simultaneously sorry and also thankful because I am now in a position where I can start to make some money off of this, which is cool because I plan to invest all that money into this channel. I need upgrades on a lot of different stuff, and stuff for video editing is pretty expensive, and I am looking forward to being able to not come out of pocket every month for my premium video editing software. That's why there were some of those months with 720p, dog. This shit's expensive and I don't have the cash. So I look forward to that. I'd love to eventually make enough money in a couple years or whenever this takes off, or if it does, whatever, to get a 4K capture card. I have a Series X, so I could absolutely do that, and that would really be cool. That is what I want with the money on this channel. Like I said, it's not much in the beginning. It will go into this channel, and I look forward to the upgrades and maybe getting the new fans in my computer so I can stream because my computer is so loud, bro. I'm sorry if you hear it all the time. I don't know, man. It's a loud ass computer, especially when it's hot. My God, I sit in this room sweating so profusely. I need to unglue my nuts from the bottom of this chair because I've just been sitting in swamp ass for 4 hours recording with no fans and no air conditioning. I'm still learning all this, and it would have been completely impossible without all of your help and support and love. I appreciate the shit out of each and every one of you, and I will continue to do these videos, A, because I'm having fun, and B, because hopefully people actually, like them. That's kind of cool too. Anyway, I think I said what needed to be said. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully I will catch you on the next one. We out.